one thing we do want to talk about, we think you guys are perfect to educate us on, is testicle tanning.
Sure.
And
yes,
there's a new hot clip making the rounds on social media of a Tucker Carlson documentary. It's very hot. It's erotic. It's sensual. It's romantic. And it includes a clip of a guy tanning his testicles. And a friend of ours and friend of the show, Jared Holt, said this has like weird origins and like kind of like right fascist ideology. What's up with testicle tanning and like the link to building your testosterone? And is this something that we should A, be concerned about, or B, start doing ourselves?
Yeah, I think you should do it, but you got to start with your butthole first, because butthole sunning.
I think that because that's going to be next on Tucker. I mean, that's like they're starting with the testicle tanning, but they can't do butt stuff right out of the gate. You need to
You got to start with the sack.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, how are you just? I guess that's true that you can let your sack kind of gently rest on your. Okay. Sorry, I have to switch gears here. Yeah, no, I don't know specifically about some, kind of esoteric text other than, a broader movement that is concerned with the loss of masculinity and connected with New Age, belief systems, as well as self-help schemes and multi-level marketing has kind of metastasized into an entire market of people selling ways to not become more soy, which they all believe we've all become more soy ever since the end of World War II. Soft males, beta males, all this kind of stuff.
When the chemtrail plot really kicked into effect.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy who I learned
about
butthole sunning from is obsessed with chemtrails, too.
Okay. Yeah.
So oftentimes these will be guys who are into, like, I don't know, like Ayurvedic medicine or like some form of yoga or like weights training or a diet, but they've decided
cleanses.
Yes, and so they often say we're lacking testosterone, and that's why men, they take a very biological approach to it. And but they also have like totally whacked out ideas. Like you'll hear them say, "Oh, sunglasses were invented to control us and stuff. Like you shouldn't wear that. You shouldn't ever wear sunscreen. You should sun your butthole because it brings energy up your whole body. You should no longer come because then essentially what they call it is nutting up your spine because instead of like releasing your fluids and all this stuff, your energy at the point of orgasm is encouraged to go up through your chakras, up into your crown chakra.
So nut into your brain.
These are all like essentially variants of the kind of concern over the loss of masculinity, with some misogyny mixed in, some anti-gay, sometimes internalized stuff going on, panic around trans people, and simultaneously to all the stuff they're complaining about, all this perverse stuff in their mind, they're out there slapping their balls, suntanning their buttholes. They're out there like, practicing not coming with each other, and all of this, of course, is money. I mean, all these people are giving courses or you can follow them in some way. It's either through the attention economy or whatever on YouTube or straight up like come and spend time with other men to masculinize yourself to get what was lost, because we're all, it's a very powerful message because I think a great part of our population is living essentially what could be described as an incel lifestyle at this point, like a hikikomori. The Japanese have a name for this kind of shut-in. And I think just more and more people are living that way. And so they do have a sense of profound loss. And so it's rerouted by all these grifters into, various ways to increase your testosterone, change your brain stack, change your way you work out, change the way you try to pick up women.
Yeah, biohack your...
biohack yourself. There was a guy who injected stem cells into his dick. And all these guys are still like selling books, and that guy got into cooking and has a cookbook now.
Well, and there's also this element too that with all of that, there is also this idea that like the government is or science in general, agreed upon science is keeping the true sort of healing and information from you, and so that's how you sort of see it really kind of intersect with far right ideology, conspiracy theories, that sort of thing.
A lot of this stuff does come, from far-right kind of fascist ideologies and visions of the country as a body, which is very essential to Nazism and other forms like this. They rely on a kind of esoteric, kind of folk retelling of what it means to be a man or whatever. And in our era, actually, it has been boosted by more liberal institutions, like, for example, the mythopoetic movement. This was the idea that actually, let's say World War II is like what happens when masculine energy goes wrong or like overloads in some negative direction. That the reason why we have war and a lot of these things is because masculine energy hasn't been spent in like the ancestral ways. So we have to either, give up all saturated fats in food, or we have to eat this type of diet, or we have to work out in this way before that only existed before we had, certain technologies. And the idea is like, yeah, essentially, it's to create a more perfect body and to create a more perfect national body, but it's so fragmented because there is no national messaging about this stuff anymore. It's just reinterpretations by grifters who are usually quite wealthy if they make their way to the top, and through the kind of multi-level marketing exploitation and just the sheer amount of people who believe that man has fundamentally become, pussified, and that this is just like a massive market. And I think Tucker smells that money.
Sure. Well, it is funny just in and of its inherently to be taking masculinity lessons from Tucker Carlson. And that's like you point out, it's strange, the really latent homoeroticism contained in a lot of that imagery from that video, while simultaneously it's presented as this very sort of hetero anti-gay thing. It's an interesting line to walk. I don't know how these guys manage to sort of maintain this cognitive dissonance, but I guess,
well, I
guess they're able to do it.
If you're really intense about being straight, you kind of loop back around,
Right.
Sure.
Okay.
It's like horseshoe theory. So we had one of these guys in Canada, running for the People's Party of Canada. Yeah, you know all about this already. This guy, Nicholas Pereira.
He rocks. He loves to open his videos with like semen retention soldiers.
Yeah,
at attention.
Thing.
Yeah.
He was also really into the breathing through your balls. That was his big thing. That was his big spin on this.
Yeah. That started with an influencer. Craze. There's an influencer called Elliot Hulse who's been selling misogynistic and just borderline insane stuff to men for a while, and he has crazy videos talking about breathing into your balls, which is not a thing. Oxygen, I guess it receives oxygen like the rest of the body, but that's not, you cannot breathe into your balls. Don't try it, fellas.
No, I'm gonna go swimming, and I'm gonna be undetected because just my balls will be popping out.
Yeah,
above the water.
No problem.
However,
attached little tube there.
You look like a puffer fish just inflating down there.
Somebody standing on the shore catches a picture of it on their phone, and it's like it's the two eyes of the swimming creature that lives in this lake.
Yeah. Technically, though, you can breathe into your friend's balls, so you can go ahead and do that, but it's just your own. It's not how it works.
You're right. Thank you for listening to this sample of the Insurgents podcast. To hear the rest of this episode and for more bonus content, please subscribe at theinsurgents.substack.com.